Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day this is for you. And later on morning for me. Although I was up early. Yeah, bringing in all this stuff, getting ready. I'm a lover, not a fighter, but people want to push me. I will stand up, fight for what's right. Shine a light on the truth. Welcome, Isme Wingish Nibe, Mijeki Kwe, your friendly, freaky ass, sweet ass, what a medicine woman. It's Christiana Carr, Chris Carr, superstar. Oh, this beautiful divine being right here. Welcome, all you beautiful divine beings. Right here, too. How goes it with you? I know this is swinging week. I know it's the most depressing week. Last week. Devastation. Absolute devastation last week. Yes. You see, the way I was made, I can't keep this one down. Because I see this is unfairness. So, if I just crawl into that hole, go where, there's nothing I can do, well then, right? No solutions is going to come to me. But when I go, and I give it up to Creator, and go, everything is in divine and perfect order. I don't know what your plan is here, but I have complete faith in it because it has led me. When I believed in that and followed that inside of me, that's when things happened beautifully for me. When I tried to go against or listen to others, especially when I listened to very opinionated others that judge others so very harshly, yet don't want to be judged themselves. They can dish it out, but they can't take it. Yeah. When I listened to them, to try and keep the peace with them, because they would hurt me. And not the physical ways that you see now. It is expressing itself physically. Damage done that I have to heal for having to suppress myself because it wasn't accepted by these ones that were supposed to unconditionally love me. Well, one told me right out front they didn't believe in unconditional love. So, and there's my own thing. And let's show them. But that's where we can get caught up, and then we can become one of those ourselves. Because we keep giving it out to the ones that keep taking it. We're not seeing who's giving it to us over here. Because where did it come from? Right? I try to tap into that source for everyone and not take from another human being to give to another, right? I don't rob Peter to pay Paul. I don't know what I'm going to do here, so this is a serious thing right now. Because as of this time, next month, half my income gone. That's $2,000. No matter what anybody thinks, these things are out there. I utilize these resources the best I can for my children. There's some, and of course it's judging. Of course. Because my boy is going to be 18 in November, was diagnosed on the autism spectrum. Didn't want to get him put in a box. Because like I'd mentioned, the first thing they say is, 95% of them never leave home or work or anything like that. So kind of sets them up already. And that's not fair. But in having that, it opened up things for us. For me to be able to finally get us out of low-income housing. To get them a stable and secure home. Which would be, except for others had to interfere with that. And there's things written down like I had a parenting problem. I don't have a parenting problem. I have a problem with people interfering with my parenting. Because those who knows me knows passion for parenting. And not to mold my kids into what I think they should be, but to help bring out their own uniqueness. To help them be their own unique little beings, to fulfill the purposes that they came here for, that only they know, that they need to tune into and find out for themselves. It's not in me. The answers for them is not in me. And that's always been my goal and intention. That's nothing has changed. My character is still the same. Others want people to believe I have totally flipped my lid and lost my mind. The ex calls it pot psychosis. And people will believe that even though I'm monitored by medical doctors, they wouldn't write me a prescription for it and then keep checking up on me. You know, that's what happens when you get a prescription for medical marijuana. You have to keep going in and you keep getting checked. There's never been any red flags for me in addictions or anything like that, for like the pharmaceutical addictions or whatever. Like when I was doing the Tylenol 3s, and the last time was 2015, 2016 maybe, because I got I believe it was June 2016, I got the prescription monitored by doctors. So you have these other people going around with their opinions, and in the face of medical documentation going, nope, she's crazy. You know? No. She got pot psychosis and all this. My mother lying on sworn affidavit saying that I was, as a kid, always in and out of psychiatric care. Right? Or, you know, assessments. That I had a problem with my mental health since I was a kid. These things are not true. That I was constantly smoking marijuana when I was a kid. That was not true. Not constantly. Experimented, but I was a goody two-shoes. I think I did it when I went to school once and then was too paranoid. I was going to get in trouble, so that never happened again. It was something I did on the weekends, and it wasn't even every weekend. So, I mean, those that know me know that. I'm not defending myself in that, but here's the picture that's being painted for me in the courts, and they just look at the papers. So right now, anybody wants to write me a character letter, I would love that. And don't worry, because apparently this time, because of COVID and stuff like that, it's only going to be a summary trial. So nobody's going to be taking any stands. They're just going to look at all the papers. And so far on paper, this has not been going well. Not at all. Because it is classic of somebody who can manipulate that system, who has the money to pay a lawyer. And they can do their little sweet talking thing and act like the victim. I just want to show the kids more love. She's stopping me from showing them more love. Well, showing them inappropriate love. Yeah. And I won't stop telling the truth. Ever. I'll do everything in my power to keep this home I worked so hard for. People want to say, oh, you don't work hard. I utilize these resources. I'm on ODSP because I had pain. But then they say, no, we didn't do it. I had to do the appeal thing. At that time, I didn't have the diagnosis of the spondylosis, the physical diagnosis of the actual physical things that are going on. And we're still looking into that. I'm in referral to a tertiary neurologist specializing in epilepsy and seizures. That's in Kingston. The neurologist that I saw here said that what I am experiencing... Hold on, I want to read this right from the letter itself. Hold on. Okay, so I saw Dr. Crisp in Oshawa. A neurologist, not a psychologist or whatever. And it was a hard time to get everything, but as he got to it, his impressions, the events that occur in the middle of the night during ovulations or at menses may be autonomic epileptic events. They are followed by a panic attack. I would refer to a tertiary center, he's got Kingston in brackets, for a definitive opinion. EEG and sleep-deprived EEG will be arranged, and I already had those. She appears to have various neurological syndromes, including fasciculation cramp syndrome, ice pick headaches, vasovagal syncope, and essential tremor. All the time. My body's always in, and even you can't see it on the outside, I still feel that all on the inside. In Kingston, they may wish to explore these other issues with various subspecialties. This is far beyond the resources of a community neurologist. There's definitely something going on in my brain. Trauma causes brain damage. Seizures, there has been, though it's not for all, but can be part of autism as well. So, and then these burnouts, and there is a thing with autism where you can lose skills and stuff, but when it's going on beyond your capacity to mask and all that kind of stuff, then you are looking crazy. Where your hands stiffen up, you look, it's not the mental, although it has an effect. Especially when people keep telling you, you're mental, you got mental issues. And you've been talking to the doctors, you've been talking to everybody, and they're telling you you're okay. But a few people say, no. Right? Well, the seasoned assessors I've dealt with in Peterborough, helping me to understand the abuse that I went through. Not saying you went through this abuse. They teach you. You learn about the abuse that you've gone through and have a deeper understanding of it by teaching about all abuses. And then you see, that's my story in there. I think this is one let's talk about this more. But you go see the court seasoned assessors, they go, no, we don't think it was abuse. And right there, that's how the courts continue abuse on the victims. It's victim shaming. He says, oh, no, write it off. Oh, because he made fun of her when she was sensitive. Because she had to ask for money. That's not abuse. Oh, silly little girl. Who's taking advantage of who? When the one's 18 years older? Already been married, already had a family. Who is taking advantage of who? Come on, people. Let's open up our eyes. All of this, especially that system. And just look and see the facts right in front of you. Never mind what's on the paper. Why not look at those people in front of you? Listen to those people in front of you, because you know what? Enough for the papers. Unless everything's recorded and they go over everything and record it, because the papers do not give a true story at all. Not at all. They've been molded and twisted to suit the story that the old man tells. The one with the money. That can afford to draw this out. And then you know what? No, they'll get you even more. And that's how I felt coerced by my lawyer, too. Just doing his job. Nobody personally responsible, but they're all human beings, no matter what title they hold. And they're all subject to their own bias and perceptions, and putting that in there and placing judgment based on their own bias and not what's right in front of them. Sometimes the biggest bias is the ones that are seasoned and they think they know it all, because they'll judge you right beforehand. Oh, this little similarity's been there before. Okay, write that off. Judge, I'm so sick and tired of people using the courts for their petty disputes. Yes, sometimes that is the case. That is not this case. And other than when I'm going in this distressed time, I do not match up to that picture that's been painted of me. But of course, they can say whatever they want. They got these seeds planted. System is fun. And apparently there's a reputation that Canada's family court system is a mess. And I'm talking to another seasoned counselor that knows things. This is not just from my own brain. This is the things I'm getting told by these professionals that feel helpless to help people because they know it. But then what? Professionals get caught up in doing their things, and then some of the places that I went to, even with the best intentions, still didn't support my stuff. I don't have enough character letters on the other way, so that's what I've got to work on for this summary trial. So I'm telling you, anybody out there that knows my character, that wants to offer character letter, I leave my email here. Just send me an email with that letter. Stick to my characters, not to tear apart that man, but who am I? The court needs to see who I am for real. Not the mental case, not somebody with pot psychosis. Oh, he took some addiction course and he got some fancy words, huh? Well, he was trying to implant that in me before When he saw the things with the spondylosis going, yeah, that's what you're going through. Oh, now I can see that. No, 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 no. He tries to plant. My brain is not that, like, susceptible to suggestion. I've got a really good strong filter in here because I run it through and I check with my guides. So I might seem to be very gullible or easily, what is that? Easily swayed or open to suggestion or whatever. But I'm not. I'm not a person that's easy to hypnotize because I have a very strong mind and strong will. Because I keep tuned in. Even when I go out sinning, come on with me. Believe me, I do not separate at all. So no matter what's going on, all my relations with me, right? Always, no matter what. Calling in all of our energies from the east, path of illumination and clarity, place of fire, place of man. Calling in all of our energies. Calling in all of our energies from the south, the waters, the childhood, the emotions, place of innocence. Calling back all of our energies from the west, the physical, the earth, the woman, place of introspection. Calling back all of our energies from the north, the air, the mental, our wisdom years. Walking the red road, our earth walk. We get that earth connection. That's how we come in. The spirit is now getting connected to that earth because we are born through an earth body. Right? And then we'll still need to do that every now and again. Look at the kids come wild outside. But we're taking away that outside. We're taking away that earth connection. We screens, right? They don't even know where their food comes from. A lot of them. How do we get that empowerment to know that we all got that same connection? We don't need a middleman, woman, whatever you want to call it. Up to the north, into our wisdom years, hopefully we've gained that integrity and we live by that integrity impeccably. We do things because it feels good, right? Because it feels good to give. And we feel bad when we take or hurt somebody or whatever. So we live by that and align our intentions and our integrity to go with the divine and the highest and best interest of all and live by that impeccably. Ay, ay, ay! Integrity impeccably. What was that other one I said? We know who we are. Jaguar. And there's a Black Panther, right? It was also like a jaguar, embracing the unknown. But hopefully, as we get up into those wisdom years, we know it's our character, it's not our reputation. So we live by the integrity of our character. And that's what, and I always thought that my character would outright. But if they're not talking to me, if I don't get to speak up in that court, and if I do, and I'm all blah, 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 because I just had felt like I was arguing with my lawyer before. So it's like I've got to prove to my lawyer who I am too, so I'm feeling out all on my own. You get made fun by a judge. And hey, it's all recorded. That there is recorded because there is somebody that sits in the courts and have to type every single word that was said. There we go. I need a good lawyer that points to that stuff. When they are going on assumptions and taking everything as fact on those papers when it's not fact. Just because it's written down doesn't make it a fact. East to west is the blue road of spirit is tapping into that joy inside. We don't need to learn from suffering anymore. That's what spirit says. We can learn just as much from joy. We don't have to suffer. And we can find that joy in that suffering. As you see, this is the worst time. It's devastation. But you know what? They win if I fall down going, whoa, 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 whoa. No. I stay in that positive giving up to God because then I need to be open to those solutions to come in and then follow that. Take action once I feel that inspiration going, this is what it's going to be. And I follow that because it brings me joy. Brings me joy. And then I'm not only helping my own children, I want to help all the children. Any woman in this system, any man being taken advantage of in this system, being abused through this system. Where the controller, that abuser, can now use the system to continue that abuse because they can't get direct access at the victim anymore. So they use their children, they use the courts. And of course, this is a big one for me. I don't believe fighting over children. So who knows me? That's a great way, subtle abuse to, we keep her all tied up in this because she can't even stand being in this. Just the thought of it, don't want to think of it, blah, 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 blah. I have to. I know how to face those things. Feel the fear and do it anyways. Have lots of practice at that. And I have support. I have some physical human support. Most of all, I have God's support. And then east to west, the road of spirit, right? That introspection. That's the one that can go inside and help you. There's no human being that can get inside of you. Unless we invite them and we got to kick them out of our heads. And I'm kicking all those ones out of my head. They don't have a home in here. They belong over there. Woo! It's hard. I'm hoping. I'm going to hang in here. As it stands right now, I don't know what's going to happen. I have to do those introspection, those goals, what I need to do. Keep my home. I need help to keep my home. I need finances to help keep my home. I need a good co-signer to help me keep my home. I've been doing it all on my own with the resources that I had at hand, and now they're taking away half of my income. This change didn't have to be made. Got my kids finally home, stable, out of low income, to be able to work to build my business a slow and steady, and they come and rip that out from under me before I even have the chance to really get it started. And then it's not just this stuff, and then others taking that money. I got to deal with financial crisis and everything all at once. It's not just one thing I'm dealing with here. Tell me, all you humans out there, do you think you could be able to deal with that? All this excitement, you got the house, there's no dispute between you and the ex, you're working on friendships, you're talking about maybe an apartment down in the basement, and he could live there, but we're still just going to be friends and co-parent. Right? Then your daughter discloses, and then the whole thing with the housing and stuff like that, no DSP, then they cash your check, you can't, that's your moving money and all that, and then you're trying to deal with that, and you just say, look I don't even want to think about what my daughter says right now. I really want to be crazy, because then that didn't happen. Nothing has happened that convinced me that it didn't. Everything that's happened is very typical of when these things do happen. Then you call them out and they need to make that one crazy. Right? And even if they can't really make me crazy, good can match that appearance for a little short time. That's all they need is a little short time. This is not the first time this has happened. This is nothing new in history. I had a friend, and then she was dumped on the street by her own children, saying, you helped everybody else, now help yourself. That guy was conniving too. The children signed off all her houses and her business and everything. And it's like the same story I'm going through. That guy was able to put on the act while they were at court. Or they said, well, there wasn't any incidences in there. Well, because he didn't come pick up the kids. Oh, and within. Look at the two people and the characters. Lovies. Okay, let's go on. 24 minutes. We're going to spread them around. Spread that love all over town. And I forgive them all. And I have. I've constantly forgiven them. Around. Oh, can you forgive me? Blah, blah, blah. Well, I have, but then you're doing the same thing. Oh, you keep holding grudges. No. Oh, no, I forgave it the last time you did it. But now you're doing it again. Whatever. I am a human being. I am being human too. I have feelings just like you. And I cry, and I cry every time I say goodbye. And hope they don't see the tears in my eyes. What jumped out there? Devotion of joy and healing. Find those tears in the sorrow. Appreciate all the time we had. No matter what anybody does, I'm their mother. Cannot change those facts. I'm the one that carries the stretch marks, the saggy drained boobs from breastfeeding. I'm the one that changed their diet and everything. Read up and do the best for my children. Doesn't matter what I want, whatever their needs. I have to learn to do my self-care and put on my own oxygen mask without feeling guilty, because that's what my kids need. Happy, healthy mother. Now these people that say they're trying to do the best for my kids, were they doing that? Did they actually listen themselves to the mother who's been trying to say, this is the help I need. I don't need you to help me with parenting. I know how to parent my kids. I do need that backup that says, listen to your mother. You know, your mom cares about you. Yeah, your mom's really not a mean mom. You got a good mom, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's what I needed, that backup in that way, to help me take care of my home, that I wasn't such a mess. To listen when I say, this is the stuff we do with the kids and this works. Oh, that's ridiculous. You got to do it this way. That way doesn't work. Try it that way, it doesn't work. You got to do it this way. Oh, we know. We're older than you. We know. You know nothing. Let us take over. Oh, we're going to ignore. What do doctors know? The doctors know nothing. We know it all. I worked in a health food store. Oh, I took some addiction counseling course. It was never part of my thing. I don't know, my, trying to get you back, whatever that was, or pin that everything on you so I can have the language. I can learn to speak this language, and oh my goodness, they are great flippin' actors. I'm not the only one going through this stuff. This is not about pity, feeling sorry, feeling bad for me, but maybe, hey, you've gone through something similar to somebody else. Maybe you've judged somebody else that's going through this. I know I have. I didn't mean to. Till you get more of that story, more of that understanding. You're seeing all sides of the pictures and not just the one, especially when they're trying to push that picture on you. Every one of my friends here in Peterborough came back. Yeah, I ran into them. Guess what she's saying now? The lie travels around the world while the truth is still putting on the shoes. Come on. Anyways. Woo! Thank you for helping me get the messages through. Sweet Jesus God, all my relations. All yours too, whatever you call it. It's all part. Same thing. Overall, what is this? Overall, that we're looking at here. Sacred space, that respecting your sacred space and who you are. This is who I am, and not letting somebody else tell you who you are. And respecting that. I need to respect who I am. I need to respect my character too. And not get thrown off. Oh, maybe they're right. Maybe I am that way. Right? 7-8, your reputation. You might have that stinky reputation, but that character. What does that character say about you? My character's always been the same. People haven't seen me for years. They're just the same. Or you're the same, Chris. You're the same. The ones that saw changes in me was after this relationship with such an abusive, malignant, narcissistic asshole. Man, watch the videos. Don't just take my word for it. You can see how he matches up to that. Why not get in a relationship with him? Anybody that is, it's not so. Let's look at that. It's that sacred space, that respecting of ourselves and who we are, and not getting caught up in this reputation. I didn't care about my reputation. Give them something to talk about. And now when it comes to these court things, these people, I could sue. Literally, I'd be in my full rights to sue them for defamation of character, because that's the definition of it. Destroying somebody's character in a time when it means it. And then they're basing all these decisions based off this false picture of me. It's not who I am. I do not use people for money. I utilize resources. Do not take advantage. I utilize those resources. I don't play games. I call and make sure that I am not doing anything illegal. But others want to have their opinion, go blah, 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 and lump you in, because some people have done that. I tell you, it's few people that take advantage of the systems as the ones that utilize it. The numbers are off, but yet, because of the couple bad apples, now all the people that are doing it legitly and being honest about it are now condemned by that one bad apple. What is that? Why is the criminal, or the one that, does the crime, is innocent until proven guilty, but that one that reports that crime against them is telling a lie until it's proven that they're true? So how is that? Why is the victim guilty until proven to be innocent, but the perpetrator is innocent until proven guilty? That makes sense? Does that make sense to anybody? Seriously? And this is our legal system? I don't know much about it. And you know what? It's just too confusing. So when things aren't fair, and then like politics, I wouldn't get into that, because that's all unfair. It's unfair. Lying and cheating, stealing, it's supposed to be there for the people. To protect the people, to serve the people, not to take advantage of the people. To steal from the people. It's basically what they do. Illegally stealing shit. Whatever that is. And then, but if you speak out against them, don't you get in trouble and all that? I don't know. I'm a human being. I just want to live my life with my children. Do my part to bring more beauty into the world. That's what my intention is. Keep to myself. I want to share and spread joy. Not that misery. I have a devotion to joy and healing. So you'll see me. I keep coming back to the joy. I'll keep coming back to that. In that healing. Right? Let's do that deep reflection. We're doing that deep reflection. Finding. Now what is that you're devoted to? What is that for you? If you're going through similar things like this, do you judge harshly people in these systems? Have you ever been at the mercy of these systems? Do you have a harsh opinion about those, right? It's self-sacrifice. Have you ever gone in there and you have to put yourself away, because it doesn't matter who I am. They're just judging me by what everybody else is. Or is it the ego, right? Get caught up. Maybe my ego got caught up and I'm a good mother. And I'm thinking, no, I got to defend my children's mother is for my children, but maybe I was doing it for me. Maybe I got caught up in that reputation. Now I'm going to have a reputation with the courts and I'm a difficult blah, 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 blah. So then if it comes back, then it's all set up. Now it's looking like, well, that's what it was set up to be. My daughter disclosed to me there was no dispute between her father and I. But yet he had to start calling around and making it look like a dispute. He had to get a paper into me, get it into court to make it look like a custody battle. Because the women that make this up, because usually there's a custody battle, they're looking for anything. The women that make this up have a history of making stuff up. I don't fit any description of that. He is making me fit that by his, dancing and smoke and mirrors and whatever. So now I'm sacrificing myself, my emotions. I need to put my emotions aside, because if that's what they want, they take the humanity out of court. Well, I can come in there like the best of them. I got trained by these guys too. Oh yeah, they were trying to make me mini dems. Have the same opinions as them. Oh, they say this, oh, they say that. I had to have my own mind. I always prided myself on having my own mind, and I really wasn't. I was following them. I'd sacrificed myself. My consciousness. I wasn't living by my integrity. I went against my integrity. Just grin and bear it. For others that didn't appreciate that. So look at that. We get back to that joy. 44, that sacred space. We sacrifice all those sorrows, give that up. Appreciate where we came from, honoring that, because that was the dance, right? The sun dance, the warriors piercing through their pectoral muscles, tied off to the tree of life, dancing to and fro. And that's the way to understand the sacrifices that the mother makes for her children. The blood, sweat, and tear left on that birthing floor. The sacrifices as mothers. The body's never the same. The hormones change. So nobody sacrifices more than a mother for her children. Even if that's all they do, that is sacrificing a lot. Some don't, it doesn't matter, whatever that is. And look at that joy, because it's that joy, it's that bundle of joy that comes the minute they put that baby there. I miss them so much. A mother grieving her children right here. Because they were taken and they didn't have to be. And it just all matches up to when incest has happened. This is what happens. They usually groom the mother or the other partner to whatever, so they don't know. They do that gaslighting so they don't know. Keep them in doubt of themselves. All classic for when this stuff happens. That's why it's the hardest to prove. That's the first thing you get told. Why is that the first thing you get told? Because right off the hop, women have made this up before, so we must think every woman is making this up when they come in. How is that fair? No wonder the victims don't speak up. It's like 5% of false cases. So 95% are true, only 5% is false. Yet the other 95% are scrutinized and chewed to bits. And if they can't make through this process, and what human being could, then they lose their children, and then the abuse continues and the cycles continue. Because what are the messages that the kids are getting? Of course they're going to bow down, because look at what that was already done to their mother. He already threatened to kill me. What if he says that to the kids? And I've already said the times when it slips out, I'm dying here because this is killing me. But that's a human being saying stuff, and then the kids, and then I gotta go talk to the kids about that. Now I don't even get the time with my children. Pooh! Do I understand? I'm not the only one that's gone through this. I have a deeper understanding. My heart goes out to all of you. You have my support here too, and extra prayers here for anybody going through these situations. Especially now, because they're not going to get fair trial or anything like that. Give you a summary trial. Looking at the papers, and it's not look good on paper. Well, it does if they like show. But they just use all those papers to show how crazy I am. And they use my videos too. Show how crazy I am. Who wouldn't be? Who wouldn't be? Tell me. Tell me how you could hold it together with all this. Pooh! Okay, action! To tell it, do it's this. Tell it, share your stories, tell it out. Send me some character letters, please and thank you, if you feel called to. If you really want to help, I know there's some that say there's wish there was something they could do, and that. Right? Yeah. Send a financial donation or a letter. Character letters. They say about me. Not attacking him, nothing. I don't want to say anything about him or anybody else. Just me and who I am. Maybe some professional letters that help show the court and educate the court and what it looks like when a victim comes in and how that victim can look just like that picture that the abuser is painting of them. Anybody, please, and thank you. They want to use this as an example, and that's what I heard the systems in Canada are going extreme, because they used to default to the mother, which of course wasn't always good, because hey, not all mothers, putting their children's best interest at the front, whatever. But to swing it the other way, and then, and not really pay attention to these cases, the individual cases, but treat them like, I'm so sick and tired of people coming in to use their petty disputes. Settle their, like when that's 5% of the time, when the most part of the time, right? Of course, those skilled abusers want to make it look just like this, because they'll learn about what's the buzzwords and how can we upset this judge and get that judge upset at the other one. And then they get awarded the cost and they can't bring it back to court until they've paid it off. Like, hello, how is the courts really missing that? This guy's so concerned, yet he'll strip everything of income. Says it himself, he's a great family. Knows I'm not this assessment. I said to him, I'm not this assessment. Well, how do I know? He's fucking playing games. Anyways, love you. That's what we're going to do. Get in touch with that innocence of that inner child. Maybe we can see those other ones as innocence. He's like a spoiled brat child. He's not getting his way. So he's being spiteful, passive aggressive, and he's using the courts to settle his things. Because he's, instead of facing up for the shit he did, instead of taking responsibility and then changing it and healing it, because maybe things got confused in his brain. He was a victim at some time too. And that's where we go. We're going to get bitter and then keep repeating the cycle. We're going to get wiser. Make it a bittersweetness and go, like, this was sad that I went through this, but this means I can help others. I have a deeper understanding now for what others have gone through, so I don't judge others no more. Well, I try to catch myself. It's still practice. I'm like, I ain't perfect. Nobody is. Still happens. But we got to, look at that in ourselves and then retreat. Retreat. Right? Sometimes, hey, and I've done that too. I did that last week. It came out, anything happens to me, and there we go. But I'm telling the truth. That's a safety thing. Because I have been threatened. My life has been threatened. And I don't want to believe this stuff, but I'm not going to live my life in denial. There's a family cycle. Not just in my family. I know there's others, but those we have to pick up in our own families. Because again, if we're looking at everybody else, we're not looking at ourselves. We're not doing our own job. We're not better than anybody else. Then anybody else that's pointing their fingers at anybody else. Then we're still judging. We're still doing, and we're not doing our within work. We need to go to the place we're all the most afraid to go, and that is inside. Retreat inside. Find that innocent baby in there that's still carrying everything. That we still keep dumping things on. That maybe we're still ashamed of because others were ashamed of that baby. Because others took advantage of that baby. Maybe we tried to stand up for ourselves, and that's what I feel shame for. I'm trying to stand up for myself, and I say the wrong things, or I do the wrong things, and I'm jumped over every little thing. I say the wrong thing, and I'm made fun of by the judge. And even my own lawyer laughs. And then you look more crazy. This is not fair. Court is not fair. Court is not fair. It's not about justice at all. It's not equal. It's not balanced. It is not fair. Whew. Anybody disagree? Have you had to go through it and you didn't have the money to pay for the lawyers and all that? Have you been at the mercy of this system? So please, if you're feeling judged or harsh, or you have a strong opinion on that or whatever, kick back, please. If you've experienced it, please share your story. If you're judging and you haven't gone through it yourself, then because then you can cause more damage to people. Especially when you have harsh opinions and you're putting that in there. You're pushing your opinions on others. You know, to each their own. It's the problem. People try to push their own opinions and beliefs on others. We were all given free will. What God has given, no man can take away. They can try. We can try and give it away, but then we take our power back, right? It's that healing, that rebirth. We have to let those old ways die and be reborn into that new. That's how we get that healing. But if we don't ever admit it, we don't see it, we're not going to get that healing, right? The healing happens just having your story witnessed. We don't change things. We have to admit the problem, right? We have to admit it, accept it, and then take action to change it. You can say, yeah, I'm an alcoholic, I drink all the time, and then just continue to drink. Well, I admitted it, I've accepted it, and then I don't do anything to change it. So let's look at that. How are we doing that? And then are we still whining and complaining about our lives, and yet we're not doing anything? We're not taking those steps we've been guided to take? And then do we blame others? Oh man, everything that bad happens in my life is my fault. Even now, I'm looking at what I can do. I see how I've, you know, yeah, I felt coerced here, but it's still, I've made these decisions when I should have stuck to my guns. First, lawyer says, you don't agree to it, don't agree to anything. But then, my little in there, the one that's scared, and self-fulfilling prophecies calling in those fears. I think I did. Because I would get scared. I see that everything's all stacked against me. And go, well, hi, well, what's the... I can't, how? I get caught up in all of this, and it's that whirlwind, it's that storm. That's the nature of abuse, to keep the chaos going. You're so confused that you're distracted from the whole point. The whole point. The girl's voice got lost. The girl's voice got lost. Complete immersion, vision. The vision quest fulfilled. Right, we look at that. Dive right into it. Go in deep into that muck. You got to clear out your own shit because it's triggering this. I felt bullied in there, so then it's triggering. I'm getting taken back to that little scared little baby where nobody listened. Didn't do anything wrong. I was getting abused and trying to speak up and trying to stop that. Trying to help my mother from being abused. Let be quiet. Taking on that responsibility. Take responsibility for my own abuse. I should have known better and just left. I did this, I did that. I went back. But I had to do that too. Because I was learning. I had this idea, right? And then you don't call them out. Oh my goodness, I called them out. And then he had me do are you in an abusive relationship survey? And of course he wasn't answering honest. Because if he says I called him names, I said it once to his face. That's not me. But anyways, it says, yeah, maybe you should leave. That's a toxic, so you should get out of that relationship. And then he had me answer the question, and it said, oh my God, get out if you're not dead already. You don't see all the bruises and the scars and stuff. Whew! But I dove in there. I never moved back in. We had our daughter, that one last, and I know. For my integrity, I did everything I could. I took it all. Right? I tried to change everything that I was doing again, right? Definition of sanity. Doing the same thing, expecting different results. I was doing different things. Let me try speaking in this way. Maybe it's because they would say, well, it was because you spoke this way. If you had to come at me this way. So I'd take all their advice and come at them that way. And then it didn't matter. Because it wasn't me. Random reflections of the sun dance. Tapping into the joy. And the 4s, that stability. 8. Come together for 8 and the infinity. Oh, that hangman. I think that's not 17. It's a 12. Yeah, it's a 3. Didn't we have a 12? Or before? Spaz. I was watching, there's a man, it's called, with dystonia, and they're showing a dystonic storm, they call it, when he's in that. And that, for me, I'm looking at that guy, that looks like how I feel. You have that awareness, so it's not, it doesn't take you out of consciousness, but your body is just going. It's hard to react, and my Aunt Grace had that. It really describes that. Seizures could be part of the autism. Just overload it. I can't. Beyond my capacities to cope. Openness to the flow, that fool. So throwing that seed out there. Don't know. The seed being carried by the wind. And those spirals down there, the teepees. So we don't know what's going to happen. It's taking that leap of faith. And this is what I need to do now. Fully immersed in this vision, I'm devoted to joy and healing. And I always have been, to tap into that, to others, that, no matter what's going on, we can always laugh and smile, that there's always good in there, right? We have the storms, look for the rainbows. I've annoyed people with my positivity. The ex especially. Oh, you annoy me with your positivity. But whatever. So that's what we need to do. Look at that. We're going to take that leap of faith. Maybe there is something we're being called to do. Are we too afraid to do it? I know. Something that keeps at me says that I need to do this. And just one, please. That's two, but just one, please. So we can retreat in, look inside. Sometimes that is an action. To retreat, to rest. To talk to that little inside. Right? And that's the manifestation. Look, Spirit is strong with us today and through this all. The wheel of fortune, things turn into your favor. There, the season's harvest. Right? And we're coming up to those harvest times too, coming up in the fall. But in that summer, everything's growing. Look at that flourish. We're going out and having fun. So the wheel of fortune. Things are turning around. And we can count on that when we get in touch with that innocent little child, and we can stop those cycles once we learn about them all. How did our choices and whatever manifest this in our lives? Hey, how did I do this to bring about this fear? It's not all the court faults. It's not all that fault. Because you know what? Those seasons, the sister says it was me because I said my place was a mess. So apparently I condemned myself. So if it's my own voice and my own words that condemn me, can it be my own voice and my own words that save my children? I don't know. Is that the only way for them to get a clear picture? I don't know what's going on here. But I know we gotta go. Something's gotta happen. Something's gotta give. Don't you know? I'm open to all the miracles. Shit, I keep trying to move that and it's stuck on there. I just wanted to move that out just a little bit. I'm jittery. Jittery, do I have all the cards there? Everything falling off there. Oh, I'm jittery. Woo! There's food in me, whatever. We'll get that. I don't know if my PSW is coming today. Okay, so that then the top one. There we go. Look at that. Integration. We bring it on. Look at. Spirit's so strong with us. It's blending. We're coming in. We're blending. What did we learn? What was our experiences? What did that teach us? How does it help us to heal? That north, it's right there. That wasn't the one that was up there, but it did make an appearance earlier now, didn't it? Knocking everything over. That's fine. We're doing that rebirth into who we are. We're integrating who we are. Seed of prosperity is there. Look at, that's the Cancer card right there. The peaceful spiritual warrior. And look at behind that one. Oh my goodness. We're finding that balance in our lives to heal. Ever deepening love for ourselves, for each other, for this earth. And look at, I see strength peeking through right there. Healing. Healing, healing, healing. We need to heal. This system needs to heal. It's been badly broken. I had to pull that out there. Strength and healing right there. We are healing. And when we heal in ourselves, we're healing all the generations that came before us, the generations to come after. This is what we do. We're integrating that rainbow blend, all that we went through, all that this baby went through, integrating that all to create this manifestation. And allow it, right? We get out of our own way. We take that leap of faith. We be that peaceful warrior. We take those action steps we're guided to take, knowing we are fully supported by all our relations, by our source, whatever you call it. Fully supported. Yes, we are. Oh, I love yous. Oh, thank you very much for being you. Biggest heart hugs ever. Yes. Shine your light through in everything you do, because you know this world needs you. Get in touch with that little. Okay? There's no need to sacrifice that little anymore. Time for that little to shine. Shine bright. Shine that innocence out. Okay? Tap into that joy. The worst is behind us. Oh. Love yous. Thank you. Wonderful, blessed day. And remember, empower, not overpower. We're human beings. We got natural conscious things in there, guilty consciousness, all that, right? So don't deny that. And don't feel horrible. You're not a horrible person. We all make mistakes. We're all learning and growing. And that's fine. Ow. Nice the best. Oh, my little guy lost his guitar when he fell down. Oh, that's okay. I'll clean it all up afterwards. I'm having a rough body day. Love yous. Thank you.